Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's tutorial we'll be looking at attributes of adding links to a web page. But before that, we are going to make some modification based on our last tutorial and development. So let's move on to our VS Code. So this is where we stop in our last lecture, that's exploring underwater life. This is where we stopped. So I'm going to be making some modification now. Coming to the web page here, we'll notice there are some things that ought to be done. Like this web page now, we have some space left out here. You can see here in this exploring underwater life, the background is not completely covering the page and the margin here is a bit rough. So to take care of that and to close that, we are going to come to the VS Code, that's our code, and inside the body we are going to give it a margin of 0 so that all this open space can be closed up. Like here also we have an open space here, also we have an opening space here. So once we add a margin of 0, all those opening space will be closed. So I'm just going to do that now. So here we add a margin of 0, give it a margin of 0. So once I save and refresh, all this opening space will be closed. So you can see that the opening space has been closed off, so it looks more standard now. So there are going to be some modification on our image. The image we use inside the VS Code, the tag we use ordinarily image tag, but for more standard view you can use figure tag to display our image based on the contribution made in the group. So I'm just going to be doing those corrections now and we'll see what is going to give us. So under this image tag I'm going to call the figure tag. So I'm just going to call the figure tag and name it. So let me cut this and paste it down here. So now we have the figure tag. So the next thing to call is difficulty. So difficulty will give it a name. So difficulty will give it a name. That caption. The name of the image we are working on is whale. So I'll just write whale. So we have a whale here. So now I can choose to leave it like this and go to the web page. Once I save and go to the web page, it's going to be modified. You can see that we have a name whale there and it's more presentable like this. So now let's say this whale color, we want to give it a different color. So we will come to the verification here and give it a style. So and we call the color attribute, let's say it's style, and give it a color of, let's give it a color of yellow. So once I save and go to the web page and refresh, it's going to give it a color of yellow. So we can also do that to the rest of the images. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay, now I've made the modifications and they are now looking the same. So once I refresh, they all have their verifications, the name. You have the dolphin, the octopus, and the manta ray. So let's move to today's topic, which is attribute of adding image to a web page. Now let's move to today's topic, which is attribute of adding links to a web page. Let's say this page now is a kind of too long, or you are developing a website and you want to create another web page which will be linked to this web page. So I'm going to move to VS Code now and split some of this code, move it to another page entirely, and I'll create a link that will link both of them together, in which from this web page you can move to the next web page. So I'm going to do that now. Let me go to the VS Code. So I'm on my VS Code now. So let me create another new file here. So let me create another new file, and now I'm going to name it underwater underscore live dot html. So let me just name it underwater underscore 2. So to identify that this is the second web page you are trying to create. So now I'm just going to create my basic HTML skeleton. So this is the next page. This is the basic skeleton I create. So, and I give it a title of next page. So now I'm going to go back to the former web page we are developing, and let me collapse this. I name it underwater live 2.html. So let me just collapse this. So now let's say for practical purpose, I'm going to cut some part of this code and paste it to that new file we created. So let's say from I'm coming. So I'm just going to cut from this octopus here, from here, and I will stop here. So let me just cut this and move to the next page we are creating. So I'm just going to paste it here. So once I paste it here, you will notice something. This li, they are inside and on ordered list, because on the web page it's a bulletin type, not numbering. So I'm just going to wrap them back inside the unordered list tag. So let me just call the ordered list, that's UL. I will cut this, Ctrl S, and paste it to the last page, Ctrl V. So once I save this, and let me save this too, let me save this and refresh. So once I save it and go to the web page and refresh, you'll see that those parts has been deleted away. So we have only the marine species, the whale and the dolphins. So I'm going to link the next page here, and I'll call it next page. So now I'll go back to the VS Code now. So to link another page to the page you are working on, you are going to call the anchor tag. So I'm going to do that now. So inside the main here, I'm going to call the anchor tag. So the anchor tag is represented with A. So the next attribute that we are going to use inside this anchor tag is the href. So the href is used to link web page to another web page. So now inside this href, let me close it. Inside this href, I'm going to copy the path. Let me save. I'll copy the path of this second web page. So let me copy the path. Once I right click on it and copy the path, I'm going to paste that path I copied inside this href here. So once I paste it, we have it in it. So now I'm going to give it a name as next page. So let me write next page here, next page, and save. So this will tell the browser that once I click on this next page on the browser, it's going to move to this part we copied here. So let me go to the web page now and do that. So once I refresh, we have our next page. You can see that we have our next page here. So once I click it, it moves to this next page here. So you can see, but this one does not have any formatting yet. We are just using it to practice. And now someone may ask that is it that we can add only page that we are working on? We can also add external URL like Google, Facebook, and other websites. So to do that, we are going to write the full part. So let me go to the VS Code. Let's say we want to add Facebook. We want to add Facebook link to it. So I'm just going to move to the next line and call the anchor tag again. I'll call the anchor tag that's a, and href. So once I do that, href, so in the middle of this quotation, I'm going to add HTTP, which is hypertext transfer protocol. Before I write the name of the website we want to link to it, so I'm going to write HTTP, which is the hypertext transfer protocol. So now let's say we want to add Facebook. Yes, we want to add Facebook. I'm going to write facebook.com, and I'll close it, and I'll give it a name, Facebook. So once the user see that, you know that okay, this is a link to Facebook. So once I save this and refresh, I'll go back to the page. Let me refresh. Okay, there is one more thing. Now we can move to this page, but we cannot move back. So to move back to the former page we are working on, we are also going to add another link to this page here, which will contain the path to the the previous page we are working on. So let me just do that. I will just copy this, or instead of copying, let me copy the path. And go to that page that we just created. So under here, I'm going to call the anchor tag again, href. Then I'll paste the path in it. Control D, copy path, and I'll paste in it here. Paste. So once I paste it, I'll just close it and give it a name of go back. So once the user see that, he's going to know that okay, we are going back to our previous page. So that is done. Let me save it and go to our website. So once I refresh this now, you'll see go back here. So you can go back to our previous page you are working on. So you see that we already have this Facebook here. I'm not connected to the internet. That is why it's saying this site can't be reached and other stuff. So once I'm connected to the internet, it's going to go back to Facebook. It's going to move to Facebook. So I'm just going to break this link down by adding break. Let me add break to it here. I'm going to add a break, and the break tag is just BR. It's a self-closing tag. So I'm going to add a break tag, so BR, so that the link can move down the page. So once I save and go back to the web page, it's going to go down to the next page, to the next line. So you can see that we have our next page and we have our facebook.com here. So once I click next page, it's coming back here, and once I click go back, it's going back to the previous page. So you can add any links as much as you want to the website we are developing. I hope you guys understand, and if you have any question, you can just ask in the group. So this will be all for today, guys. Thank you. So let us practice what we have done, like creating new page or creating new file to create new page on your VS Code or whatever editor you are using. So and submit to the group. Thank you. Bye bye. And before you go, and there's one more thing I want you guys to do. You see this next page that we have created, we already know how to add image, add background and other stuff to make the page more complex. So I want you guys to do that before submitting the assignment. I want you guys to make the page, to add the background we used in the previous page, to also add it in this next page here, and give it some formatting style that is related to the previous page, the initial page that we created. So once you do that, you can submit it to the group. So that should be your assignment. Thank you, guys. So by next week, we are going to be moving on to more advanced level of creating website, which is level 2. If you look at the timetable I sent to the group, you notice that I write level 1 and level 2, and all this one we are currently doing are in level 1. So from next week we are going to move on to level 2. Inside the level 2, we are going to be doing things like list, we doing things like table, how to create table in HTML, how to create forms, like how to fill forms, like all those forms we see on website. Like maybe we want to register to a web page and they ask you to fill a form, we are going to know how to do it by ourselves. So we are going to do that and more of advanced stuff in our level 2 HTML. So thank you guys. Let us make sure we do our assignment and practice. That is the only way we can be more perfect in what we are doing. Okay, bye bye.